Hi, this is Andrew Klaven on The Culture. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on PJTV, and I have wonderful news for you. I've now had time to study your x-rays, and it turns out you have a happy spot on your left lung. Actually, I've known about this for quite some time, but I didn't want to mention it in case it had caused you to experience any, well, anti-happy spot bias. You see, these happy spots are what we used to call cancer, and that was such an ugly sounding word, so judgmental that people have developed a prejudice against happy spots. They've come to privilege the so-called healthy cells in their bodies, as if it were somehow better or more normal to be a healthy cell than a happy spot. That's a terrible thing, because if you go around profiling happy spots as somehow worse than cells of other inclinations, it can quickly become a justification for violence against the happies. I don't mean from sophisticated people like you and me, of course. I'm talking about those rube Americans out in the hinterlands. The minute you start calling things by those nasty words that actually, well, describe them, Americans are just the sort of Bible-clinging, gun-toting yahoos who'll go off half-cocked and start reading the Bible while holding a gun. It's up to people like us to teach them right thinking so they can overcome their primitive hatreds. If we go around recklessly using words like cancer, the next thing you know, Americans will start trying to cut cancers out with knives or even kill them slowly with radiation or poison chemicals. It sounds barbaric, I know, but that's exactly what used to happen right here in our own country. And they call this the land of the free. Yeah, right. Not if you're a happy spot, my friend. Believe you me, if you're a happy spot, you could be minding your own business, just living and growing in someone's lung, or standing at a gas station somewhere when a drive-by doctor suddenly viciously attacks you with a scalpel, simply because you were raised to live your life a little differently than so-called healthy cells. Who do these doctors think they are, making decisions about life and death like that? Some of them don't even work for the federal government. Their small-minded philosophy calls cancer evil. Well, such cancer phobia has infected our country way too long. Nothing is evil or good except in the way we see it. These bigots are constantly coming to me and saying, "Oh, boo-hoo, if you don't cut my cancer out, I'll die." Just for 1 second, can't they think about it from the cancer's point of view? Why should they live forever while the poor cancer is slowly destroyed by some kind of torture out of the Dark Ages? Radiation, chemotherapy, and even the Christians never did anything as horrifying as that. Listen, with just a little change of attitude, you and your happy spot can learn to understand one another and live together in mutual tolerance for maybe the next 6 months or so. And here's more good news. The current administration has dedicated itself to fighting against negative stereotypes of happy spots wherever they appear. President Obama is supporting a United Nations resolution that will make it much harder, possibly illegal, even to mention the word cancer. And he set a good example by never using the word himself. The media is getting involved too. They're being very careful that no one comes to believe that people are being killed by cancer just because they're being killed by cancer. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not thinking of cancer there. I'm thinking of radical Islam. Radical Islam. Now there's a happy spot. This is Andrew Klaven on The Culture.